Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So this from Dark Defender here on Twitter, going back to one of his XRP predictions from February of this year. XRP at that time was at 85 cents. He says we did discuss multiple times that XRP would go back down to, and he pinpoints this price here, 0.22331. So this narrative is not new. XRP touched 28 cents on June the 18th. Some could see and some still can't see, but I keep my eye on the prize. So again, this was his technical analysis that he did from back in February of 2022, guys. He was assuming XRP would come down back in this range, 22 cents. Sure enough, XRP did in fact come down and around here. Okay, we did see that low back again back in June of 2022, where XRP did hit a price of roughly 28 cents. And now we are on the rise. I mean, at least, hopefully we are going to continue this rally upward. So Dark Defender is still projecting 3 more waves, okay? The next wave up, hopefully the big pump. But first, it looks as though we're going to hit intersectional multi-year support at 47 cents, give or take, with Fibonacci levels. And this is going to be the strongest support for XRP. So guys, we still could be hovering, in the 40s for a little while. But then finally, when we do see that boom, the takeoff, he is suggesting wave 3 Fibonacci levels up to $11.42. And then finally to $197, wow, and 2 cents for XRP. I mean, we still got to see if it will play out. As of the time of this recording, XRP is trading just under 40 cents right now. So hopefully this is the final low, 28 cents. The lowest XRP will go before we start to see new highs. Billionaire Mike Novogratz also predicted that Bitcoin will explode by over 2,800%, guys. But here's the catch, okay? Galaxy Digital founder and CEO Mike Novogratz is predicting a meteoric ascent for Bitcoin. There is a catch, however. He did predict that Bitcoin would reach $500,000 by 2025. But he says in a new Bloomberg interview that he still believes Bitcoin will hit that price target, but also notes that it will take more time than he originally expected as macroeconomic conditions have changed. So guys, here's a quote, not in 5 years, and I'll tell you why. The biggest change that happened and the reason Bitcoin went from 69,000 down to 20,000 is the Federal Reserve's Jay Powell and how he decided to find his central bank superpowers and start bashing inflation over the head with a series of rate hikes that have taken rates from 0% to 4+%. And it's pretty much that simple. It's why all frothy assets, growth assets that were inflation hedges went down because we are in the process of beating inflation over the head. That's the main reason why crypto went down as well. So, still optimistic on the crypto market, but of course, because of what we are seeing right now, the macro financials of, global markets and for so many other reasons, he is insisting that Bitcoin now he's talking about Bitcoin in particular. And, generally speaking, what we have seen in the past is, altcoins generally follow Bitcoin, but what he is not accounting for is real-world utility, cryptocurrencies like XRP finally coming out of a lawsuit. I think that there is a real potential for that, at least in the short term, for XRP specifically, because it will be coming out of such a landmark case. For XRP to really spur on excitement in the crypto space. I think, institutions are watching this lawsuit very, very closely. If they see XRP does get clarity in some sort of way, I'm going to call it investment dollars are likely going to be pumping in, not into just XRP, but other cryptocurrencies like XLM, and we will likely see a pump. I don't know how sustained it will be. Hopefully longer rather than shorter. Want to keep moving. Ant1 here on Twitter posting this. XRP lawyer hints that this could cause another 50% crypto crash. So this coming from John Deaton. XRP lawyer questions the SEC's plans of action. John Deaton, amicus curiae in the XRP lawsuit, in a Twitter thread, highlighted the SEC's plan of action. He mentioned that the SEC chair has been coming after crypto for 2 years. He added that Gary Gensler doubled the size of the SEC staff dedicated just to cryptocurrency. And we do know this has been publicly documented. However, the SEC chair pushed regulation to buy enforcement in non-fraud cases like Ripple, Library, Dragon Chain, BlockFi, and more. He stated that the SEC is the second largest creditor in the BlockFi bankruptcy. XRP lawyer also mentioned that 6 months ago, he made a prediction the SEC chair would target and sue a major exchange for dealing in unregistered securities. Meanwhile, this came out to be true as the commission sued Coinbase, crypto exchange, for selling securities. So John Deaton right on the money here. However, Deaton believed that this could happen again and that this will directly cause another 50% crypto crash. This will allow the incumbents to gather an even larger share of the market. So what John Deaton is predicting, in fact, would bring the crypto market down even further. He's saying another 50%. And I'm assuming he's saying another 50% from where it is today. Where would that bring us? Another 50% would bring us back down to what, $400 billion? It's hovering right now around 800 billion. So I guess I should say I do have the total crypto market cap up here. And that would bring us back to these levels of resistance seen back in May of 2018. Ouch. That could be a huge blow for crypto. And I think at that point that would shake out a lot of retail traders. Just to put things into perspective here, guys, if we were to bring up BTC on the chart and we were to see another 50% decline for Bitcoin, give or take, that would bring Bitcoin right down here. 50%. Would bring it in and around $8,500 per coin. Again, these guys have an MO. They do have a motive. They want their banking buddies to get into the crypto space before everybody else. And if you can collapse the market and buy up all the good assets at a discount, I mean, this is how these fraudsters run. And they're going to do it on the backs of retail. Anyway, wanted to thank Ant1 here for posting that. Gonna keep moving, guys. Stéphane Hubert also noticed this. Okay, a recent document just published on the SEC's official website from December the 3rd. Okay, so much for the SEC only having jurisdiction over U.S. and crypto projects headquartered abroad being safe. So take a look at what's going on down here. Here, the U.S. SEC is fining Swiss executives in Switzerland for bribing a government official in South Africa to obtain government contracts in South Africa. So, is the SEC actually trying to extend its reach beyond the United States? So Stéphane Hubert also just posted that link there. Apparently, that's not entirely what is happening here. Bill Morgan here trying to clarify some points here. If you consider the second last paragraph, it was part of a global criminal matter in cooperation with Switzerland and South African authorities and parallel cases. It does not mean the SEC has arbitrary global reach. So there is some fine print here just discussing that this particular fraud did have to do with many jurisdictions, and that the SEC does not, in fact, have global reach. Thank goodness for that. Otherwise, crypto would be doomed. Just going back down here real quickly, 2001 down here saying actually they had jurisdiction simply because of the following. So he's just pointing it out here. Security Exchange Act of 1934, and the fact that it is traded on the New York Stock Exchange gives them jurisdiction. So Bill Morgan just responding here proves my point. You can't complain about American regulators having jurisdiction if you trade on the New York Stock Exchange in respect of that trading. Same would apply for cryptos outside the U.S. trading on U.S. marketplaces, including decentralized exchanges. Bill responding here, my issue is they are mostly not securities, not about jurisdiction. Stéphane Hubert also responding, if the SEC wants to, it will find a way to everything. And when it comes to a company in the United States that holds shares in a company, that holds shares in a company, that holds shares in a company, that has done something in some other country that the SEC doesn't like, well, they will likely go after it. And here we have it, guys, case in point. So wanted to thank Bill and Stéphane Hubert just for posting that. I also saw this on Twitter from Mr. Man. Are you guys aware that this Ripple versus SEC case is all a show? If you did not know, now you do. Here is the settlement. But before you guys get excited, let me give you guys a little bit of context with this. Okay, Ripple has already sworn into the Bank Secrecy Act. Look it up. Now, let me read you guys a little bit of this. On the understanding specified below, the United States Attorney's Office in the Northern District of California will not criminally prosecute Ripple Labs, a Delaware company headquartered in San Francisco, California, and any and all subsidiaries of Ripple Labs for any of the conduct described in the statement of facts attached in Attachment A. The government enters into this settlement agreement based on the individual facts and circumstances presented by the case and the company. Among the factors considered were the following, and then it gives a whole bunch of factors considered in this case. The company admits, accepts, and acknowledges that it is responsible under United States law for the acts of its officers, directors, employees, and agents as set forth in the statement of facts attached hereto as Attachment A and incorporated by the reference into the agreement, and that the facts described in Attachment A are true and accurate. The company expressly agrees that it shall not, through present or future attorneys, officers, directors, employees, agents, or any other person authorized to speak for the company, make any public statement in litigation or otherwise contradicting and accepting of responsibility by the company set forth above or the facts described in the statement of facts attached hereto as Attachment A. Now, it does go on further But just to give you guys some reference here, okay, Mr. Mann does in fact post the actual document in which this was signed. And as you guys can see here, this was dated and signed back in 2015. So this was in fact another case. I think this was from the FinCEN settlement from 2015, as Anders mentions here. Mr. Mann responds here, though, correct, meaning they had settled with the Treasury, a money services provider. As it stands, there are no fintech securities governing laws, and the SEC is an enforcement agent to the state. However, there are no securities regulations and laws for the SEC to enforce. Anders responds here, but why haven't any of the lawyers following the case brought it up? Mr. Mann responds, very good question here. Tipsy Tiger also just bringing up a John Deaton thread from back in April with regards to this particular case, the 2015 FinCEN case and the DOJ settlement. So if you guys want to know more about that, I will link this tweet thread in the description of the video. So, I mean, it doesn't, in fact, address the current SEC lawsuit, but it does bring up some interesting questions. Darren here also just posting this. This was the FinCEN case against Ripple. They were sued for operating an unlicensed money service business. The SEC is a separate case trying to prove that they offered investment contracts, and so these cases are in fact separate. You would think, though, that there would be some precedent taken from the FinCEN case that would in fact be applied to the Ripple case, considering these both these cases are taking place in the United States. Both the legal issues have to do with United States jurisdiction, and this certainly doesn't deter from the fact that the SEC has Ripple in court right now. And, I think decisions have already been made. I think Judge Annalisa Torres has made up her mind. And, for you and I, following the case very, very closely over the last 2 years, whether it is all a show, whether it is all a facade, whether it's a stage, the world's a stage, right? I think Ripple's going to come out of this gloriously and victoriously, guys. It is going to help not only the price of XRP, but also the entire crypto ecosystem, which I think will be, by and large, just good for everybody. Also happen to see this, guys, from Mac Attack XRP. What is XRP2? Ripple CTO explains. XRP2, are they creating another cryptocurrency? Apparently not, but here's the explanation, okay? David Schwartz provided clarification on XRP2, or II, after one of his followers found a reference to it in the crypto payment company's official documents. Using Apple Pay and Apple as examples, David Schwartz explained that XRP2 is actually a separate legal entity controlled by Ripple Labs and needed to conduct separate specific activities. So just responding to this tweet thread here, David Schwartz was commenting on the SBF situation, and somebody responded, Joel Katz, is there such thing as an XRP2? XRP2 and the Ripple Trade MSB will implement and maintain, or will continue to maintain, an effective anti-money laundering program, risk assessment, and other compliance measures as required by applicable law, including the Bank Secrecy Act and its implementing relations. David Schwartz responds down here, XRP2 is the name of a legal entity owned by Ripple. It's similar to the way Apple has entities licensed to do Apple Pay, so all of Apple doesn't have to be regulated that way. XRP2, am I an idiot? Is this a coin or a token? And of course, David Schwartz reiterating here, no, it is in fact a legal entity, an LLC to be specific. So it does in fact sound like Ripple did legally register XRP2 as part of a, maybe an idea to become a payment issuer themselves. And David Schwartz did liken it to Apple Pay, and that's what's tipping me off here. A separate legal entity, obviously, wanting to keep it separate from Ripple, the company, and they did this even before the FinCEN lawsuit, it sounds as though. So it does make me wonder, are we going to see more coming out of the Ripple camp that has to do with XRP2? Tell me down in the comments what you guys think, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.